All right, Wing Commander Praful Bakshi, former Indian Air Force officer and the former spokesperson of the Ministry of Defence, also with us, a known name in India when it comes to air security and protocols. Commander Bakshi, appreciate you taking out the time, sir. I'm sure you're despondent, you're disheartened as to what happened. But what's going on in your mind, sir? I want to understand, what do you think attributed to this fatal crash? What were the reasons? Let's not get into what Air India is, what the background is, what the story there is. Speaking purely, pedantically about, technicalities, I'm sure you have flown yourself. What went in your mind when you saw that aircraft tumbling down without control?
Thank you, Vineet. Indeed, you are talking about a very serious accident. I'm very sorry to talk about it also. But let me tell you one thing, what went through my mind is why, because I am officially a aircraft accident investigator also, though I've not given my CV. It is there, I've done 28 inquiries myself. Let me tell you one thing, the way my heart always...
So are those for the Air Force or are those commercial investigations that you have done? Just for my knowledge.
I've done both. I was involved in commercial investigation also. In fact, I went to tabletop accident and they submitted my report.
Fair enough, sir. Fair enough. Just setting the record straight, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Now, what I'll try to tell you is that there are a lot of things which don't come clearly to us. First thing is, just letter has been issued just now, which has been circulated, that these checks have to be carried out. Please point out any single check which is not carried out. All these are carried out. I'm not worried about that. The question is fuel. When you talk of fuel, what sort of inspection of fuel? First thing is, when we are going into all these steps one by one, when the FDR, the flight data recorder and the CVC is opened, you will see lot of parameters will also come out on that, which will be related to that. So let's wait for that. Until and unless that comes out, and let me tell you, when we can talk about FDR, but we can never have seen an FDR report openly in total transparency. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Though I may sound very harsh, but this is the fact. I'm not blaming Air India. Air India, well, let me tell you, it has very good record. So let's finish about that. I'm not even lifting a finger on Air India. The question is, our procedures in DGCA, we have always tried to take shortcuts. Why? I have been talking about, when I was in service, that there should be a surprise inspection team formed by the DGCA of all professional aviators in one solid team and go and inspect every airline which is operating from India and private ones and submit a report independent. Their training, their maintenance, their operations, everything, and the procedures which are on the ATCs, they should be inspected and report should be given. I am sorry, Vineet, that is not done. So there is a lot of things which have been not done, which are left over. Now let's come to this accident. Aircraft takes off just barely 500-600 feet. It means he is on the takeoff path. And then after Mayday call comes and he starts descending because he's losing thrust on both engines. It never happens that you suddenly lose thrust on both engines until you had a bird strike or flock of birds. They've got into your bird, like it happened in America. The pilot landed on the river. That sort of a thing happens, very rarest of the rare. Well, that we have to find out. But when the bird strikes, there's a lot of smoke, etc. also comes out from my personal experience. Even I was struck with bird, so I know it. But here, let's also forget about it. The question is, when the aircraft has landed, aircraft pilot has nothing else to do but to land straight ahead. He has to convert his height into speed to actually maneuver the aircraft, because aircraft has no thrust. It is losing thrust. Now it is losing height, so a pilot keeps building the speed, so the maneuverability is maintained, so he can land somewhere. Now he has got 300 to 400 feet left. He has to put the aircraft straight in line of his takeoff, whether he hits a hill, whether he hits a tree, he cannot control it. So that's what happened. Now question is, why did the engine fail? FDR report will tell us, but FDR report will not tell you the quality of the fuel. We have to check up the quality of the fuel. There is a very serious charge in various places where this has happened of contamination of fuel. We have to check up, and when the fuel is contaminated, this is not a natural phenomena. It has to be deliberately done. And in the inquiry, the last column is always there. Sabotage cannot be ruled out. This has to be checked up. And then the complete report of the aircraft, what emergencies it had had in the last 6 months, change of spare parts, when were they changed, has any part been given extension? A lot of airlines take shortcut. They don't change the part now. Their owners say, no, we want to save money. Isko 20 ghante extension de do, 5 hours extension, or 10 landings extension, or 2, whatever the case may be. There are a lot of things. Shortcuts are taken. These reports must come out. They never come out. And let me tell you, you will have, you may like it or not, people may like it or not. When the Patna air crash took place, I was on the television exactly like this, 97. And I said the fleet has to be inspected. Vineet, within 15 minutes of my statement, there were 2 very senior retired officials were sent to the television to take me off the screen because I spoke the truth. Because you had to inspect the air, it was Boeing also that time, it was Alliance Air, they were grounded. Question is, Vineet, we have to face the fact and learn to speak the truth. Let's not mollycoddle and do pussyfooting everywhere and hope like hell that things get over. No, it's not going to get over. Read out the list just now, which is in front of you. Read out one by one. Which inspection, what is not inspected? Everything is inspected. What extra? I would have appreciated had Air India.
Commander Bakshi, there is also this bit of information that this aircraft flew very normally from Delhi to Ahmedabad that same morning. What do you think would have gone wrong in that space of a turnaround from Ahmedabad to London?
I would like to check up the storage of the fuel. I would like to check up what sort of fuel went. Fuel, it may not be fuel, but let us write off, remove one doubt from our mind. And then some parts can break up. There are a lot of parts which are there. See, the fuel is going into both engines. Was there a distribution system which got chocked, which got blocked? It could be there. Where the pipe broke off, it could be there. There are so many things can happen. In the ignition system, something could have happened. So, an honest flight data recorder report and a court of inquiry report has to come. You know, conjectures lead to a lot of, suspicion. So we should have to avoid that. Yes, we are all waiting for the FDR report to come and the inquiry report to come. And let not any airline official interfere in that.
Commander Bakshi, there is also this chatter going on that the pilot had about 3.5 kilometers, to in fact, take the aircraft before he took off. But if there was a problem with the engines, he would have known that in the first 2 kilometers. Do you subscribe to that argument? And there was a possibility that he could have stopped the aircraft from taking off.
I'll tell you, Vineet, when the pilot opens his throttle and his speed is building up normally, he watches the airspeed indicator. When the lift-off speed comes, the VR, they call it VR speed, when the nose wheel is up and the aircraft gets airborne, it got safely airborne. When the aircraft is safely airborne, it is building a thrust properly. There is no... Yes, if there was an indication on takeoff that some pressure, fuel pressure line or the temperature engine JPT is shooting up, or there is other warning signals which are there in the Boeing aircraft as well. I'm not a Boeing pilot, I'm a fighter pilot, but I know this, that this is there. Something will come up, pilot can abandon takeoff. He can abandon takeoff even after he has raised the nose, he can raise the nose. Maximum he will go overshoot the runway, but he will stop. But we have also, very sorry to say, Vineet, I have spoken on your channel that previously the airliners used to have a tail chute. Believe you me, Caravelle, if you know what that aircraft, I've gone into that Caravelle, they use tail chute. The emergency like this, the tail chute comes up. In the tabletop accident in Mangalore, I gave in my report.
So hold on to that thought, sir. Hold on to that thought, sir. Some breaking news coming in. Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu has confirmed that the flight data recorder